Good afternoon. How are you? Well, it's a Virgo lunar eclipse on our hand, and this is the time that we really focus in on what the energy of Virgo really means. Now, it's a lunar eclipse, so we're not going to cast spells or set intentions, but this lunar eclipse, I talked about before, was really about within. A solar eclipse is without. The lunar eclipse is how do we respond within ourselves. So that's what we're focusing on today, is the internal work that's behind this eclipse season. Now, this energy of Virgo, we know well. We know well because we have a Virgo South Node. With a Virgo South Node, what it's telling you is you've already done this. You've already gained this wisdom. Now it's about how do we apply the wisdom that we've gained in order to move towards that Pisces North Node, which is to become a more spiritual being. So today I'm going to examine Virgo as what we know as the conscientious builder. Virgo, ever the craftsman, ever the critic, but also really is that diligent builder. And so that is the energy that I'd like to focus on. So when we think of Virgo as a conscientious builder, I'm asking you to think about the word conscientious, and it comes from conscience. And so conscientious is related to that voice or that inner voice that's inside of you that act as a guide. Some of us would call that ori, right? So this is related to the power that dwells within you, consciousness. Ultimately, the power of Virgo is to be present to the power of consciousness. It is to be present to the power that dwells within you. Intentional action connected to this internal consciousness is what this moon is really about. The other definition of Virgo is that often of the virgin, to be whole onto the self. To be whole requires dedication and practice. To be whole onto the self is not an easy task. And we know this because the other qualities of Virgo that come along with conscientiousness is responsible, organized, hardworking, diligent, someone who plans ahead, someone who's self-disciplined, someone who's reliable, detail-oriented, goal-focused, taking your duties seriously, dependable, and also, I would say, greatly discerning. So to be whole onto the self or living in this Virgo energy certainly requires all of these qualities, right? And if we're seeking to be autonomous and hold onto ourselves, some discipline is going to come along with that. To concentrate and execute intentionally is also a Virgo quality. Concentrating and executing intentionally. So there's a lot of intention behind Virgo. There's a lot of intention behind this lunar eclipse in Virgo. There's a lot of intention along with that wisdom that you've gained. And what's this intention really about? So I'm going to ask a series of questions to help us set intention for this eclipse that we're in. And remember, these questions aren't new. These questions are all things that we've examined before, and now we're picking it up again because of that Virgo South Node. So what I'm saying to you is not new to you, it's a reminder at this time. But I would also like if you can add some additional questions below while we, in the comments for me as I'm going through this. So when I use the word conscientious here, I'm also going to ask you, you can substitute intentional again, right? So can we become more conscientious about our spiritual hygiene once more? Can we become more intentional about our spiritual hygiene once more? You got it, right? Can we become conscientious about our altar keeping and offerings once more? Can we become conscientious about feeding the ancestors again? Can we become conscientious about journaling our dreams again? Can we become conscientious about taking care of our homes again? Can we become conscientious about our business again? Can we become conscientious about our minding our business again? Can we become more conscientious about our mental hygiene again? Can we become conscientious about our thoughts and realize that they become things again? Can we become conscientious about our words and how they're literally a spell over our lives again? Can we become conscientious again that we are the medicine? Can we become conscientious again about taking that said medicine ourselves rather than evangelizing others? Can we become builders of community again? Can we become conscientious again about storing land? Can we become conscientious again about growing our own food? Can we become conscientious again about speaking and praying over the waters again? More. Can we become conscientious about talking to the spirits again? Can we become conscientious about uplifting and loving on each other again? Can we become conscientious and intentional about who we let into our lives, our home, our lives, and our close circle? Virgo is also the healer and the medicine keeper. So can we become conscious again about what heals us? Can we become conscious again about studying plants and plant medicine? And for those of us, because there's a lot of us on here who have studied plant and plant medicine, the previous question was, can we become conscientious again about utilizing that medicine and sharing that medicine and showing up with that medicine? Can we become conscientious healers, dedicated to the work of healing ourselves and our family and our communities again? I am going to share with you some of my favorite plants for becoming conscientious, dedicated, and intentional on my YouTube channel. So follow me there for the rest of this. Thank you. Can we become conscientious about allowing our bodies during this eclipse season to once again build the energy that we need to sustain our resilience in a world that's at war? Some of my favorite medicines that teaches structure and discipline and function, I'm about to list them here. My first one is mint. I love the energy of mint. I have an entire mint video on my Instagram, but I love the energy of mint. It is one of those herbs that was used for the purpose of showing value or communicating. It is, mint has the energy of Mercury, who's Virgo's ruler. And so during Mercury retrograde, this is a really beautiful plant for us to use. So mint is a communicator. It provides clarity, and it's great for the opportunity to breathe deeply and relax your nervous system while maintaining a clear mind. And that is the power of mint. I also love lemon balm here. Lemon balm is great for balancing the brain, the emotions, and it supports ADD and ADHD, so it helps with focus and clarity. Lemon balm is a beautiful plant for us to be using right now. Ginkgo is a plant of Mercury, and it's great for impaired memory. It is great for anxiety and depression. It improves hearing, it improves sight, and it's a great circulatory stimulant. The other plant that I'm going to mention is dandelion. Dandelion is deeply nourishing and building. It is also super cleansing, and it teaches us resilient. Dandelion, such great medicine for resilience. It teaches us resilience and truth. It is about truth telling. It helps us get to the bottom of the issue so that we can tell the truth about it. That is dandelion's work. Love these medicines for this time. Let me know what you're returning to again, and how does it feel to be a bit more conscientious as we step into the energy of this lunar eclipse, Mercury retrograde, Virgo South Node, so many things happening. Take really good care of yourself, and of course, I'll be back to talk to you about more of this energy. Until then, bye-bye.